Hi everybody! I was watching videos this morning and Michelle1218 did a video called Products I Regret. Yes, let's start off the video with the flub. Products I regret buying, and I thought it was a great idea, so I stole it and I'm doing it and I'm passing it on to you guys, so tag, you're it. When things are sitting in your drawer looking at you and you feel guilty, that's a regret. Okay, so I'm going to start with a couple of tools that have just ended up being complete tools, no pun intended, like just kind of useless things, and that's fan brushes. I have more than one, and I don't know why, because I don't find that they're really useful for anything. It's kind of like, what was I thinking kind of thing. So there you go. It's not really a regret. It was more like, what was I thinking? And a lot of these things, you know, you get because of all the hype on YouTube, and then you get them home and they don't work for you, and it's just kind of useless, like this beauty blending sponge. So there's the beauty blender, which is, you know, like the whole product, and everybody has that, but it's like $20. So then I think Sephora's got a version, and this is the Ulta version. So this was, and Sonia Kashuk has a $9 version. So this was $4.98 at Ulta, and this is a really recent purchase. I only got this about 3-4 weeks ago, and to me it's totally useless. And I know a lot of people love them, but to be honest, I prefer putting on my foundation with brushes. So that's why I'm like, what was I thinking? If I prefer to put product on with a brush, why would I go and get a sponge? And this sponge is really weird. I don't know if it's just this one or if the other blending sponges are like, if they're all like this, but even when I soak it in water, it doesn't really get very spongy. Like, it stays really, really solid, and I just find that I don't like the way that it blends. It takes so long, and I just don't like the way that I have to go over it several times. I prefer just using a little wedge, like a little latex wedge. That gets nice and soft, and I find that it's much more pliable and malleable than this. So it's too hard and too solid, and I just don't like it. So that was, I mean, it was only $4, so it's not that big of a deal. So next up on things that I wish I didn't have are silly, goofy nail polishes. And I'm talking specifically about glitter and funky colors. Everybody knows that Chanel Mimosa was a huge trendy color this year, and it's like a yellowy kind of color. So I was on the quest for a yellow nail polish, and they're just, I find that no matter which one I use, they kind of go on streaky. It's not a really good color. It's kind of hard. It can bring out weird tones in your skin, and it's just stupid. So for me, anyway, like for my lifestyle, going to work at the office at 39 years old with yellow nail polish on my fingernails, okay, so it's just goofy. And then the glitter. The only glitter nail polish that I really actually like and wear is Teenage Dream from OPI. It's part of the Katy Perry collection, and that's because this can actually stand on its own. Like, you can just wear that on its own. But any of these kind of like glittery top coats with like big chunks of glitter, this one's got confetti in it. It's just, they're just really, really silly. And the biggest one is the Hidden Treasure. It was neat and everything, and it's kind of got a cool effect, but I just, you know, nail polish comes off me so quickly anyway that to go to all the trouble of putting on like a glittery top coat and everything, it's just, I end up never using them. Maybe once in a while if I'm going to a party, but I have so many of the darn things. It's silly. I have to stop myself. It's like, stop buying glittery nail polish. They look pretty in the bottle, and that's basically about it, right? Okay, next is too many mineral foundations and powder products. And that's because I have extremely dry skin, especially in the wintertime. So in the wintertime, when you start to wear more foundation, my skin gets too dry to use these kind of like powder-based foundations. And it ends up just looking really cakey and flaky, and I look like my skin is peeling off, and it's just ridiculous. I have the world's driest skin. Why do I need powder? I don't wear powder. So, like, these powders are never going to get used. Like, they just sit there day after day looking at me like, how come you keep overlooking us? So it's just silly to buy those products for me. Next up is the Garnier Anti-Dark Circle Roller, and I have the Anti-Puffy Eye Roller, the green one that nobody likes, but I actually like that one, and I don't like this one, simply because it doesn't offer enough coverage for my under eye circles, and it's the wrong color, and I find when you go to put it on, see, it doesn't apply it evenly. See, it's all like kind of, so it doesn't give me enough coverage, and it's really the wrong skin tone it's the wrong tone for my skin tone. So it just kind of sits there and doesn't get used. I have other products that I like even better. Or another couple of new acquisitions, and it's the Milani Baked products. Again, I'm not saying that these are bad products. They're very beautiful to look at. The problem that I have with them is they're way too glittery. So it's not even like a nice, you know, shimmer or sheen. There's like glitter bomb, specifically this blush. This is in Dolce Pink. And you can see how glittery it is. Like, you can see the glitter. So the problem with this is that it's too glittery for me to use as a blush. And you can see there, it doesn't really impart a lot of color, but there's a whole lot of glitter going on there. And it's too dark, really, for a highlight up here, so I end up never using it. And the same goes for this shadow in Intermix. Now, I loved it. I thought it was a beautiful kind of plummy, golden, vanilla color, but when you swirl it together, it just ends up coming up brown. And again, look at all the glitter in there. It's just way too much glitter for me, so those are kind of a regret. Next up is this Heart the Heraldry face kit, and I was so excited when I got it last Christmas. Like, I got it like the day that the collection came out. I went out and I picked this up. But the reason why I regret buying this is it's expensive. It was $45. Now you think, okay, $45, but you get 3 blush products in there. Okay, this big one down here is actually a beauty powder. So a beauty powder is, like a lot of people say, like you use it all over your face. Well, it's way too dark for that. I would never do that. It's not like, to me, it's not like a finishing powder or anything like that. And it's not pigmented enough to work really well as a blush. Like you can see, that's at full strength. But when you actually go to put it on your cheek, you end up not really seeing anything. So it's almost like a blush that they forgot to put the pigment in. And they're like, hey, let's call it a beauty powder. And then these 2 top colors are okay. This one's a little bit too dark for my skin tone. So you got to be really careful. It ends up, you know, it's a little bit Merlot-ish for my skin tone. And again, the color payoff's not the greatest with them. I have other blushes that I paid a lot less for that I like a lot more than these. So it's just, yeah. But again, you can't really regret it because I wanted to get something from the collection, so I did. But this is something, like, you can tell it's hardly been used. I think I've maybe used it 3 times. I've done like swatches for videos more than I've actually used it. So this is something that I could do a swap or blog sale for, or something like that. Okay, moving on to eyeshadow. So this is the big one. This is the one where I have the most, the first regret that I have is buying too many single eyeshadows that are the same gosh darn color. Like, really, how many silvery, taupey, nutty browns does one person need? Like, they're all, this is the only one that's a little bit different. It's a little bit warmer. But they're all, you know, so I've got all these singles. And the worst thing is, you know, buying the exact same color from different manufacturers over and over again, or buying single eyeshadows when they're easily duplicated shadows in palettes that I already have. There's a lot of eyeshadows sitting in my drawer that never get used because I've got the same color in an easier to use palette than going out and finding a single lid color, a single highlight color. You know, I just get everything inside my little palettes and my quads and things. So these little singles just kind of sit there. I have the same, one of the same regrets that Michelle 1218 has, and that's Victoria's Secret eyeshadows. I find they're very pretty to look at. They go on better with your finger than they do. You get better color payoff when you use with your finger. So they're very, very pretty to look at, but they're a lot of work because they don't go on with a brush very well. You can see they get burnished really quickly, so they get packed down there too hard. It's too hard to get the product off, and they're quite expensive. They're like $12 or $15, so for all that work. But again, they're really pretty, but I just found the color payoff and the staying power on them not that great. So yeah, they're not worth the money. Next up is the Wonder Woman Opulash in Victorious. This was part of obviously the Wonder Woman collection from MAC. And I love MAC Opulash mascara, so I thought that I would love to have this in a color. So I picked up Victorious, which is the purple, and I really, this is actually a really big regret for me because it has sat in the package since I got it, and I never use it. I used it to, you know, again, swatch. I used it once and put it back in the box, and it just sits there not being used. So it's purple, but it's more like a lilac color. It's not the deep rich purple that I was looking for, because I thought it would be fun to have a purple mascara. The price, it was $25 or something, so it is a little bit pricey for something that I never use. I mean, I've even gone so far as to use it in my hair to give a little bit of a, you know, purple streak in my hair. But, you know, at $25 just to do that, it seems ridiculous to me. So, and I mean, it is cute in your hair, but it's like $25 for that? That's ridiculous. So that to me is a really big regret. Lip glosses. Like, what the heck was I thinking? I have all these lip glosses, and you know what? I hardly ever wear lip gloss. If I'm going to wear anything, the ones that I like are in this container, which are the Revlon Super Lustrous. I think are great lip glosses. I really like the Rimmel lip glosses because they go on more like a liquid lipstick than a lip gloss, and they kind of stay on your lips a little bit longer. But, you know, like, lip glosses from MAC suck. I hate them. All these other ones, like, they're all really gloopy and gloppy, and I hardly ever wear them. Yeah, so it's like, why do I keep buying lip gloss? I don't wear lip gloss. I like lipstick. Okay, and lastly, the Naked palette. So this is another thing that was like a really big hype, and I know that there are lots of people that wear this, that go to this palette every single day and they love it, but I'm just going to tell you why, to me, it's a regret. First of all, it's very expensive. Here in Canada, it's $60. So you're paying $60 for 12 shadows, which is, you know, not bad, but when you only end up wearing like 4 of them, then it ends up being really, really costly and kind of silly. So basically, like I said, basically there's 4 colors that I wear. I like Virgin, Sin, Toasted, and then I use Hustle, okay? So Virgin, Sin, Toasted, and Hustle. So those 4. If I had a palette with just those 4 colors in it, I'd be really happy. And the thing is, most of these colors are available individually, so to pay for the whole palette when I only use 4 shadows is really silly. And the other problem that I have is there's a whole bunch of colors in here that are just the wrong color for my skin tone. They end up being too kind of, like these colors here, like Smog and Half Baked and Buck and Naked are all too warm for my skin tone, so they end up looking muddy on me and they don't look good on my skin. So that's why I regret buying the Naked palette. It was a lot of money for something that I don't go to a lot, and when I do go to it, I'm wearing the same 4 colors over and over again. But at the same point in time, those 4 colors are not something that I would die if I didn't have, and I actually have comparable colors already in my collection. I do think that they're beautiful shadows. Like, you can see the beautiful sheen on them. Like, look at this one. Like, beautiful, beautiful. And these are the matte colors. I don't wear matte colors, so they're out to begin with. And then these are way too, like, goldy for my skin tone. Oh, and the other thing is, there's quite a few colors in here that are way too glittery. Sidecar, which also appears under a different name in the Book of Shadows 3 that I have. The Creep and the Gunmetal. And there's another one here. They have, like, really big sparkle particles in them, so they're too sparkly to wear every day. So, cost. Shades are wrong for me. Too much sparkle in a lot of them adds up to one big... But the good news is I'm sure I could sell it or swap it with someone. Okay, so there you go, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Those are the products that I regret buying, and I hope to see you make a response to this, or even just let me know in the comment what's the biggest regret that you have. And yeah, so we'll see you in the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.